Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Liz Loves Books, and today we're going to be doing the Finally Fall book tag. So this is a book tag that I found from another creator over here on BookTube that did it called Elliot Brooks. Let's get started. Question number 1 says, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. Already the cover is very vivid, which fits the question, but also just the story inside is very vivid as well. This is the first book in the Bridge Kingdom series. It's a series of duologies, 3 different duologies. It says, a warrior princess trained in isolation, Lara is driven by 2 certainties. The first is that King Aaron of the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy. So, enemies to lovers vibes. And the second is that she'll be the one to bring him to his knees. The only route through a storm-ravaged world, the Bridge Kingdom of Ithaca enriches itself and deprives its rivals, including Lara's homeland. So when she's sent there as a bride under the guise of peace, Lara is prepared to do whatever it takes to fracture its impenetrable defenses and the defenses of its king. Yet as she infiltrates her new home and gains a deeper understanding of the war to possess the bridge, Lara begins to question whether she's the hero or the villain. As her feelings for her husband transform from frosty hostility to fierce passion, Lara must choose which kingdom she'll save and which she'll destroy. This isn't enemies to lovers. Our main character has grown up since a baby, being taught to hate whoever is the king of the Bridge Kingdom or Ithaca in this world, which is our MMC King Aaron. So it is a true enemies to lovers, and I feel like the author has done it really, really well. But back to the question at hand, the setting. I thought that the setting the author weaved of the Bridge Kingdom Ithaca was just so unique and very vivid and descriptive. Number 2 says, nature is beautiful, but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written, but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. The book I chose for this one is an oldie but a goodie, and I'm sure many people have read it. That is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This is the beautiful Barnes & Noble little exclusive edition, which I love. I had to read this book back in middle school, I believe in 8th grade, just like everybody else. And it is just such a good book. I haven't reread it in years, so forgive me if I am rusty in my explanations. I might look at the blurb for it. But this book does take place in the 1950s, I believe, in Oklahoma, following a group of boys who are very low income, and they are part of what they call the greasers, which are kind of like described as the low lives, the poor, the people that don't have much going for them in the world. And there is kind of a tempestuous situation with another group called the Socials or the Socials. They are rich, privileged, high society in the area and have everything handed to them and going for them. So there's this underlying kind of competition between them in this storyline. But it follows our main MMC. His name is Ponyboy Curtis. He's 14. So this is more like a middle grade, upper YA novel. And it follows his POV. And it follows a lot of his other family and friends who are basically like a giant found family. But it also deals with their struggles with poverty, with familial death, other death within the storyline, and just a lot of really tough conversations that I think is really important to learn about when you're younger, which is why I loved that they had us read this when I was in middle school. And it really touched me when I read it then. And there's also the amazing movie that was made in the 80s. Please go watch that if you've never seen that. Also, S.E. Hinton is like a mastermind with writing. And the cool thing about this edition is there is a bound-in letter from S.E. Hinton themselves and kind of signed down here. If you're looking for a really immersive story that's easy to read but also deals with a lot of harder topics, please pick up The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Third is fall is the back to school season. Share a non-fiction book that taught you something new. And I do not own this book. The Small and the Mighty by Sharon McMahon. Sharon McMahon is a podcaster, and she was actually nominated in 2024 for Goodreads Reader's Favorite Audiobook and Reader's Favorite History and Biography, because she does narrate the audiobook, and that's how I suggest you would listen to it. It basically just follows 12 stories about the unsung American heroes that weren't talked about. And they were specifically not talked about because they were either women, Black, Hispanic, people that weren't white, rich men. And so Sharon really shows that a lot of these heroes, their stories deserve to be told. And she does a really great job in making the stories very informative, but also interesting. It says, in The Small and the Mighty, Sharon McMahon proves that the most remarkable Americans are often ordinary people who didn't make it into the textbooks. Not the presidents, but the telephone operators. Not the aristocrats, but the school teachers. Through meticulous research, she discovers history's unsung characters and brings their rich, riveting stories to light for the first time. Question 4 says, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you'd like to be a part of. The Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. This is a 5-book contemporary cowboy romance series. This has such an amazing found family. So basically, I'll kind of just go through each book and discuss why the found family aspect is so important. Flawless follows our FMC Summer Hamilton and our MMC Rhett Eaton. And all of these books, most of all these books follow Eaton brothers or friends of them that find the loves of their lives, right? So you have our main characters here. Then in Hopeless, you follow Cade Eaton, who is Rhett's older brother, and our FMC Willa Grant, who is the best friend of Summer Hamilton from Flawless in the first book. Then you follow Powerless, which is Jasper Gervais, and he is the unofficially adopted Eaton brother. The family took him in when he was a teenager after his family kind of abandoned him. And then our FMC is Sloane Winthrop. She's a little bit more removed from the rest of them, but she was another person who kind of lived in the town and became really good friends with Jasper when they were teens and was kind of also adopted in a way, not officially. Then you have Reckless, which is the 4th book. It follows Theo Silva, who is the protege of Rhett Eaton from Flawless, and he's the protege of Rhett because he is a bull rider. They're both bull riders, and so he kind of learns from him. So he's kind of like a little brother in a way. And then it follows our FMC Winter Hamilton. I think it actually might be stepsister, maybe half-sister of Summer Hamilton in the first book. And then we have Hopeless, which follows our MMC Bo Eaton. He is another Eaton brother. There's 3 of them. And our FMC Bailey Jansen, who lives in the town that they live in, and her family has a really bad reputation, so everyone knows about them, and she is just another townsperson. So all of these books connect from one character to another in a way, and they just develop such a lovely and wholesome family friend unit. We move on to question 5. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. Look at all fall. The browns, the golds, the greens, the reds. It's beautiful. And I will link my October TBR video up in the corner there. If you haven't, please go check that out. I've got some amazing books that I'm reading this month. We will move to question number 6. It says, the days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. I'm going to be recommending Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee. This, I believe, was Cher's debut book. As you can tell, very short cover. Looks very, very sweet. It only is 262 pages. So a very short, quick read. This is a YA contemporary romance between our 2 MMCs. So we've got LGBTQ plus representation here. And the back has a cute little menu. It says, love wasn't on the menu. So it says, Dylan Tang wants to win a Mid-Autumn Festival mooncake competition in memory of his mom and to bring publicity to Walk Warriors, his aunt's struggling Chinese takeout in Brooklyn. Enter Theo Summers, charming, wealthy, with a smile that makes Dylan's stomach do backflips. When Theo makes a sizable donation to Walk Warriors, Dylan reluctantly agrees to be Theo's fake date at a family wedding and the Hamptons to return the favor. So we got some fake dating in there as well. And not billionaire, but a rich character. In Theo's glittering world of crazy rich drama, their romance is supposed to be for show, but Dylan finds himself falling for Theo. For real. And with the mooncake contest looming, Dylan can't risk being distracted by rich people problems. Can Dylan save his family's business and follow his heart, or will he fail to do both? Now, I picked this one because typically YA books, especially YA romances, have that very heartwarming aspect to them. A lot of family dynamics, friendship dynamics, learning who you are as a person. They tend to be a little bit shorter, so I thought this was perfect for that question. Question number 8 is fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. When I read this book, I absolutely loved it. 5 stars. There's a TV show about it that I still have not watched because I'm afraid it's going to ruin the book for me, but that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, if you've been living under a rock, you might not know what this book is about, or you might just be new to reading and booktube in general and not know about it. So this is technically, I guess, historical fiction, and this whole plotline is kind of based off of the lives of the band members of Fleetwood Mac. So that Stevie Nicks is the main girl within that band, and then there's 3 other male members of that band, and this is kind of following that kind of storyline. An explosive, dynamite, down and dirty look at a fictional rock band told in an interview style that gives it irresistible surface energy, although the real power of this delicious novel is at its tender, beating heart. It's an anthem and a ballad and a marvel. And I feel like that is just a perfect description for this, because as it said, it is told in interviews. It's very toxic, it's very heartwarming at the same time, and it was also a Reese's book club pick, which she always picks very intense emotional reads for. But it says, Daisy is a girl coming of age in LA in the late 60s, sneaking into clubs on the Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars, and dreaming of singing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. Her voice is getting noticed, and she has the kind of heedless beauty that makes people do crazy things. Also getting noticed is The Six, a band led by the brooding Billy Dunn. On the eve of their first tour, his girlfriend Camilla finds out she is pregnant, and with the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes a little wild on the road. Daisy and Billy cross paths when a producer realizes that the key to supercharged success is to put the two together. What happens next will become the stuff of legend. The making of that legend is chronicled in this riveting novel, written as if it were the oral history of one of the biggest bands of the 70s, Fleetwood Mac. In Daisy Jones and the Six, Taylor Jenkins Reid brilliantly captures an unforgettable place and time in an utterly distinctive voice. This is just such a unique and interesting book. And lastly, number 9 says, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. So I'm going to be stereotypical. I'm going to say my Kindle, a candle, and a blanket. I have a lot of fall blankets, which are really fun, and very fall-themed candles. I like to get the ambiance going and ambiance on the TV, my dog lying next to me, my couch, my blanket, my candle, my book, or my Kindle, and just like reading the day away. That's the perfect day for me. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is just peak perfection, and honestly, peak fall. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Comment below, what is your favorite cozy reading accessories? Let me know down below, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye guys.